mid-19th century, a nation stood at a precipice, torn by profound divisions. This was America, on the brink of its most defining conflict, the American Civil War. A brutal struggle that tested the very ideals of liberty and unity. A fight for freedom, in every sense of the word. For 4 long years, Americans fought Americans, shaping the destiny of a nation and redefining what it meant to be free. At the heart of this conflict lay the institution of slavery, a moral stain that divided the nation's conscience and economy. The South's agrarian economy relied heavily on enslaved labor, creating a stark contrast with the industrializing North. Beyond slavery, the debate over states' rights fueled tensions. Could individual states defy federal law? Especially on such a critical issue, abolitionist movements gained momentum, advocating for the immediate end of slavery, further polarizing the country. Figures like Harriet Tubman and Frederick Douglass emerged as powerful voices, challenging the status quo and inspiring hope. The economic disparities and differing social structures between North and South created an irreconcilable chasm. The election of Abraham Lincoln in 1860, a staunch opponent of slavery's expansion, served as the final catalyst. Southern states began to secede, forming the Confederate States of America, setting the stage for armed conflict. The attack on Fort Sumter in April 1861 marked the official beginning of the war, igniting a firestorm across the nation. Both sides rallied with fervent patriotism, believing in the righteousness of their cause, ready for a swift victory. Key figures emerged to lead their respective sides: Abraham Lincoln, the steadfast president of the Union, and Jefferson Davis, the elected president of the Confederate States, leading the Southern cause. On the battlefield, Ulysses S. Grant rose through the Union ranks, known for his relentless pursuit of victory, while Robert E. Lee, a brilliant strategist, commanded the Confederate Army of Northern Virginia. The First Battle of Bull Run, a chaotic and bloody encounter, shattered illusions of a quick war. Both sides realized the immense human cost and the long, arduous struggle that lay ahead. The war raged on, with battles like Antietam, the bloodiest single day in American history, leaving an indelible mark. As the conflict deepened, the Union's objectives evolved. The preservation of the Union now intertwined with the fight for freedom. In 1863, President Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation, declaring millions of enslaved people in Confederate states free. This pivotal decree transformed the war into a moral crusade, inspiring enslaved people to seek their liberty. The Battle of Gettysburg, a 3-day epic, marked a crucial turning point, halting Lee's invasion of the North. Simultaneously, the Siege of Vicksburg gave the Union control of the Mississippi River, splitting the Confederacy. These victories shifted the momentum decisively in favor of the Union, though the fighting was far from over. Life for soldiers on both sides was a brutal existence, marked by harsh conditions, disease, and constant danger. Camp life involved endless drills, meager rations, and the ever-present threat of battle, forging bonds of camaraderie. Field hospitals were grim, overwhelmed by the sheer number of wounded, with limited medical knowledge and supplies. On the home front, women stepped into new roles, managing farms, working in factories, and supporting the war effort. Families endured immense hardship, scarcity, and the constant anxiety of loved ones fighting on distant battlefields. The war touched every aspect of American life, forever altering the social fabric of both North and South. As the war entered its final phase, General Sherman's march to the sea devastated the South's infrastructure and morale. The relentless Union pressure, led by Grant, finally cornered Lee's forces. On April 9, 1865, Robert E. Lee surrendered to Ulysses S. Grant at Appomattox Courthouse. The war was over, but the nation's healing had just begun. The costs in lives and resources was staggering. Tragically, just days after the surrender, President Lincoln was assassinated, plunging the nation into deeper mourning. The era of Reconstruction began, an ambitious but challenging period to rebuild the South and integrate freed slaves into society. The American Civil War left an enduring legacy, fundamentally reshaping the nation's identity and its understanding of freedom. It abolished slavery, solidified the Union, and set the stage for the ongoing struggle for civil rights and equality. The lessons learned from this defining period continue to resonate, reminding us of the fragility of unity and the power of human resilience. The fight for freedom, Tug, Costly ultimately forged a stronger, more inclusive nation, forever changed by its greatest trial.